Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the weekly women's volleyball press conference with head coach Tyler Hildebrand. We will open the press conference with an opening statement from Coach Tyler, then we will open it up to questions from the media.
Thanks, Lindy. Well, we had a long road trip up to Pauley and Bakersfield, and it was cool. Caroline, who I work with on the head coach committee with the Big West, was really nice. She said, welcome to the Big West, and we hope we have a lot of good battles. And I think we're going to have a lot of good battles with that team. We had a good battle the other night. We were disappointed in a few things, and we're trying to make some changes, particularly in our maybe sense of urgency, taking care of the things that we can control on our side of the net. I think that's one thing that we took away. So, but Cal Poly had a great environment. There's, I think, 1,300 fans there. The band was there, so it was a cool environment and a cool match, and they played well. And particularly, 15-8 or 15-9, Stockholm and Dvorak played great matches. Then we had to try to rebound, and losing the first match conference is tough. So we had to rebound and play a good match against Bakersfield, and I thought we did. We still gave up some runs of points, which is a little bit of a thing that we need to work on. We need to get better at not giving up strings of points. So we did do that against Bakersfield, but we played pretty well and ended up winning in 3, and were able to get home in a decent hour and recover yesterday, and we had a great practice today.
All right, Coach. In that Cal Poly loss, comparing it to the Bakersfield win, what were things you didn't do in the Cal Poly game that you did do correctly against Bakersfield?
We, like I said before, there was a sense of urgency against Bakersfield. I told the girls, every season there's ups and downs. Every season there's kind of turning points, things that make you realize, okay, we're not doing this very right. And from a staff perspective, we need to create a better sense of urgency. We need to have more attention to detail to some of the little things, and we need to do that as a staff. The girls need to do that. So that was the primary difference. Bakersfield, I don't think played as well as they wanted to this weekend. They lost, 3-0, 3-0. They're a better team than that, I think. But Cal Poly, Cal Poly's record probably fooled some people. A lot of the record doesn't show. They were up 11-5 against Pepperdine, who's knocking off top 10 teams like it's nothing. And in the 5th against them, and they're also up in the 5th against Washington. So Cal Poly has a chance to be really good this year. And I think for us, it wasn't really strategic. It wasn't anything that we need to do adjustment-wise. It was more of that, Cal Poly was ready to play, and we were ready to play. Our team's always ready to play, and they play hard, but we weren't ready to execute in all areas of the game, and especially on some little things that we can control. So that would be maybe the difference, is we were ready to do that, I think, on Saturday, and we did.
Coach, Callie had a very big weekend with 17 kills, 11 blocks, and only 3 hitting errors. How important has she been to this team, not only on the court, but as a leader as well?
Yeah, Callie's on our leadership team, and Callie hasn't had that role at Nebraska. So it's, and Callie's naturally a little bit, internal and quiet as her regular disposition. She's not like that when you're, around her a lot. But so this is really cool that she gets to, step into that role and get to experience that part of being a leader. So she's been great for us off the court, even on the court in that role, non-volleyball role as a leader. And it's cool for the girls on our team too, because she's been in 2 national championship games. She's played through the Big Ten. She's won the Big Ten. So that brings an experience of getting to a high level and sharing what it's like to compete at that level. And she had some really good comments after the match when we lost to Cal Poly. The team was kind of talking before we went in, and we were all kind of listening. And Callie stepped up right away, and I thought she had really good things to say to our team about about, every match matters. And so she's done a great job there. And then this week, she's been building, some confidence on offense and some confidence blocking over the last couple of weeks. But I've been with Callie for 4 years, and I think she had a breakout offensive week this week where it wasn't so much the numbers, it was more how she was hitting the ball and the balls she was getting on. So sometimes, if you haven't quite got that confidence attacking, your shoulder can get a little bit cold or frozen and you don't quite swing free. And that was what she did this week. She was swinging free, and she had a breakout week. So we hope she can build on it.
Looking at this week, you have yet another big road game in conference against Cal State Fullerton, but then Saturday you have a big home game against Hawaii. What's it going to take to be successful in those two games, and what are ways you're trying to prepare for both Fullerton and Hawaii?
Well, we only had one day to prepare for Fullerton, so we did that today. Obviously, we'll prepare more tomorrow in our serve and pass and video. So it's a little bit of a unique week with the Tuesday, Saturday. It'll be Tuesday, Friday next time we play this week, and we'll have a travel day in there. So this week is actually quite a bit easier than it will be next time we play this week, or these two teams, because we got to get on a plane Wednesday and go to Hawaii right after the Tuesday match against Fullerton, because we play them on Friday, and we're there. So we do have more time. So we prepared today, Fullerton. We didn't touch Hawaii at all. We'll prepare Fullerton obviously tomorrow. Wednesday we'll have 3 days to prepare for Hawaii, so that's plenty of time. We won't be able to jump much on Wednesday because we jumped pretty hard today. So we'll be a really light first contact practice on Wednesday. We'll go over their themes, we'll watch video on them, and then we'll get a full practice on Thursday jumping, and then a little bit of a lighter jumping practice on Friday. So we'll get we'll get 4 days because Saturday morning we'll prepare for Hawaii too. So that's kind of nice. We think Hawaii's been, either winning this league or at the top of this league for a really, really long time. And I think they're going to be there again this year. So it's nice that we get to prepare for them for that many days, but they also, prepare for us. I forget when they play Fullerton, but I think we get a day or two extra to prepare for them. So anyway, that's helpful. So, but two completely different teams. Fullerton is a well-coached team. Obviously, Nicole is an alma mater here. Andrew Sato, alma mater from here. I know both of them very well. They're good friends of mine. They're a really well-coached team, but not as physical. They're trying to do some different things. Hawaii's physical and good, and Fullerton's good but not as physical. So we're going to have to prepare a little differently. And one of the things we got to prepare for is the setter's dump. She's got a great, we call it a two shoot, but she sets it over on two and she hides it, and she does it in some really kind of unique circumstances. So hopefully we're going to be on that, but that's something that we had to rep out quite a bit today because it's really unique.
There's been a long-standing rivalry with Hawaii and the volleyball team. What does that rivalry mean to you?
Well, as you're saying that, obviously you look at the last 4 years on the men's side, look at the rivalry between those two. It's just those two teams for 4 years. That's not to discredit all the other teams, but those two teams were battling it out at the end of the year pretty much. And so I felt that on the men's side as a player and a coach. I've watched a lot of the battles over the years. I obviously haven't experienced the match yet being on the women's staff, but I definitely know what it feels like on the men's staff, and I know what it means to both programs. And rivalries are great for sport. And so, Dave, Soji, and Brian had, I don't know how many battles over the years. And so they're great for sport. They're great for the fans. They're great to get people's juices flowing. You hear football players, Michigan, Ohio State in football talk about the coaches just saying there's only one match that matters this year, or one game that matters. Obviously, we don't feel that way, but we do know that it's a bigger it has a bigger feel to it. I think the crowd, Hawaii travels really well, so they'll have a lot of fans here. We're doing Brian's, locker room dedications, so that'll be a big night. So anyway, it's going to be a big night. We're going to try to keep the distractions down, and we need to win this match. We have a loss in conference, and we try not to put a bunch of external pressure on the girls about you got to win every match or we can't, do this or that. But we know we need to win this match at home, and we're excited to go play them there and in front of that crowd and in a great volleyball venue. So we know it's going to be 2 great matches, and we want to try to get 2 wins this week.
And then, Coach, can you describe like the competitiveness of like the Big West Conference and how it's pretty much up for grabs with anyone in this conference?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know that much about the conference in terms of the teams. We're taking it one team at a time. I know historically who's been good. The teams that have been at the top over the last 4 or 5 years, I've looked at the rankings, but I haven't watched a lot of video on teams other than teams we're playing that week. So I think that, I think it's up for grabs. I'd like to think that, we have a chance to be in the hunt this year and be better than we've been over the last few years in terms of being in the running. Santa Barbara, Bakersfield, Hawaii, Cal Poly, Irvine's got a good team this year. San Diego's better than they've been. So we played San Diego in the spring and they were really good. So, I think to your point, it's up for grabs, and that's why we feel a sense of urgency this week after having a loss. We need to win matches, and the cool thing is that our team feels that too. That it's not like they're like, they're the ones that are like, we need to have a sense of urgency, and this, I don't want this to sound like, we weren't ready to play against Cal Poly or it was all on our side. Cal Poly played a great match. We know it's going to be really tough against a number of teams. There's probably 3 or 4 or 5 teams that we know that if we don't bring our best stuff, we're going to get beat. And so that's hopefully going to bring the best out of us this week. And, we need it. Fullerton had a great, really good match against Bakersfield. And so we're going to have to play them in their gym and beat them and then, get up for Hawaii.
Thank you, Coach.